Gutless Gang.
I am Ryan McDonald, and I lost 18.5 pounds with the Gutless Gang.
All right, Ryan. So you signed up for the January 2020 Gutless Kickoff and did a great job. I believe you lost 20 pounds. So if you could just tell the audience how much weight you lost, and then just tell us about yourself, your age, your occupation, and marital status, things like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So my goal wasn't 20 pounds. I started at 181.5, and my goal is to get to 165. I did get down to 163, so I lost 18 and a half pounds. I wasn't too far overweight, but I had just, married, just had our first child. She's 8.5 months old, and working probably like 10 hours a day right now too at a startup company. So a lot of work. Was probably drinking some wine every night as well, and things just crept up on me. I also broke my ankle, so I wasn't working out as much. So I quickly gained 20 pounds or around 20 pounds and found myself a little bit more overweight than I'd ever been before. And I've known Bryce for a long time. We were roommates briefly. He'd started Gutless Gang, and I was always curious about the process and stuff. And, I found myself needing, something to really kickstart myself to get back into shape. And I reached out to Bryce and started the program. And then, after going through it, it was something that helped me hold myself accountable. Having other people that were going through the process at the same time was really helpful, and really kind of rebooted my lifestyle as far as how I think about, when I eat food, what I'm intaking, and then also staying on top of my workouts. So I was able to get down to, 163 in an 8-week process. It's been about probably like 2 months since we finished, probably a little bit over that. I'm still at the same, that 163 range, and I'm working out about 3 to 4 times a week, and eating a lot more healthy, just more aware of like what I'm putting in my body, and feeling good.
Great, man. Thank you for that. And so, as far as exercise is concerned, it's really 20% of the equation. Eating is so much more important. Diet is 70%, and we say 10% within Gutless comes down to fasting. Most people don't fast, so it's pretty much an 80-20 split for the normal individual outside of Gutless. But with regards to exercise, now, when people hear you say you're working out 3 to 4 times a week, immediately I know there's resistance. They're like, oh, well, he's working out 3 to 4 times a week. That's why he's losing weight. But the thing is, you weren't working out 3 to 4 times a week when you started Gutless. So one of the things we try to do is start small and just build the momentum and rebuild the habit. So our guys, when they graduate, have rebuilt that habit, and they started small. And so although exercise is a small percentage when compared to diet and when compared to the hormonal piece of Gutless, would you say that Gutless is very effective in helping people break bad habits and replace them with new good habits, such as working out and different ways of looking at life and diet in general?
Yeah, definitely. And that's a good point that you brought that up, because when I was not working out 3 to 4 times a week when I started Gutless. When I started Gutless, I started working out again, but it was very gradual, probably like once a week at the most. But I still lost 10 pounds within the first couple weeks because of just adjusting my eating habits. One of the key things, you mentioned fasting too. Now I really only eat when I'm hungry. And, in the beginning of the day, typically I don't find myself eating until around lunchtime now, because I just not hungry in the morning. I'm drinking a lot more water. That was one of the things that I think that and helped reduce some of my like need to want to snack on things throughout the day, just making sure I'm more hydrated. And then as I got to probably the halfway point, I started including, more workouts. And that was, going from once a week to maybe twice a week. And these are going for, little runs, maybe just going to the gym, starting to gradually get back into the workout. Now I'm at the point where, I've built the habits around eating into my daily life. And then also now, I look forward to working out. It's a way that I can clear my head, and it's something that I actually look forward to doing. And these workouts aren't long either. They're just like I'll run 2 miles, right? I'll do it as fast as I can. Maybe go for, 15 to 20 to 30 minutes on these runs, and then also try to include a little bit of lifting once in a while, maybe once a week or twice a week too. So that's kind of where I'm at now and where I started at. I drink alcohol maybe once or twice a week still, but and then I'll have a day where I eat some ice cream or do some kind of cheating on like how I typically approach it. But I think one of the key things that we learned was cleanups during the process, and that is, you have an off day or you kind of go a little bit overboard on where you kind of wanted to go when you ate too much pizza, right, or whatever it is, and then you don't let that cleanup that you need to clean up as soon as possible, which is that next day, and the cleanup is maybe an extra fast or just working out a little bit harder, right? But you don't want to let that go too long because you'll find yourself back in the bad habits. So that's one of the things that I've also found to be really helpful is not being so strict on yourself. It's not like I'm not going to eat pizza once in a while or I'm not going to have ice cream once in a while, but it's about how you approach that next day and the way that you kind of push yourself a little harder to make up for indulging a little bit in outside of the diet or just the healthy eating habits. I'd say that I've kind of ingrained now into my daily life.
Awesome, important points. And so we say Gutless, there are three levers that we pull, three levers, and the three pillars of Gutless are diet, exercise, and fasting. So just like Ryan said, if you mess up on your diet, you can fast a little bit longer, or if you're not fasting, you can fast the next day and throw in an extra workout or work out a little bit longer or do a fasted workout. And if you skip your workout, then you just have to be more conscientious of your diet. Maybe use fasting because you didn't work out that day when you were supposed to, but you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You don't have to start from zero. You can just clean it up the next day and get back to where you were. So we break even. And when you mess up, you fess up, you clean up. The accountability piece is huge. And coming to the table and admitting that you slipped up somehow prevents you from doing it again. And it also provides you the opportunity to get feedback on how to clean it up if you don't know how to clean it up yourself. So thanks for bringing that up, Ryan. And you also, at the end of the Gutless January class, you brought up an important point about team building, and you joined Gutless with your CEO. You also brought your brothers into it, and you brought a team. And you felt like at the end of it, you saw some direct applications where Gutless could be beneficial for corporate teams. If you could talk us through that a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So company I'm with is when I joined, we were a seed stage company. I came on to run revenue. So I was like the director of sales, but really the only salesperson at the time. So a lot of different responsibilities and our CEO, everybody's wearing a lot of hats. We're now Series A stage company. We've just finalized our Series A, but the timing of Gutless was really good because we were going through that raise process. I'm on calls from 7 in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. Being worn out and tired or being hungover is not a recipe for success. Also, so I found myself just more energized and sharp really during that crunch time because I have the responsibility to make sure we're hitting our revenue goals while we're talking to investors and trying to raise money, which we did do. And then, Martin, our CEO, who is part of the group too, he's working with these investors constantly. And right before COVID and also during COVID, which we're still in, and we did have the opportunity to be in front of some of the investors, but a lot of it was like Zoom calls. And I noticed Martin because we do daily, we're on Zoom calls constantly with each other throughout the day too. Just his just seeing him on the Zoom calls, you could tell his face, a lot of the weight had come off his face. He was more energized, I felt like, and going through a very stressful time. I think it's important to be as sharp as possible, so you can maximize the performance that you're trying to achieve too. So obviously, like our company, there's a lot of different variables that go into us being successful and going through a Series A process, but trying to be as healthy as possible and sharp as possible are one of the key things that you need to be is like staying on top of your game. I thought kind of the camaraderie that we saw just with each other, the person on my team, also my brothers who were part of the group too, just kind of optimizing our energy and our focus was something that Gutless I think helped with during that time, and a wellness approach too. And I think there's some benefits there, especially with the accountability and kind of the group approach that Gutless takes. I think it's really good in the corporate space too.
Thanks, man. And so I thought you had lost 20. We get so many guys losing 10 to 30.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
So sorry. It was 18 that you lost. Now, Ty Vernon in that same class lost 37 pounds in 8 weeks, which is above our 30-pound marker that we promised. We promised 10 to 30 based on a man's goal. Some guys don't have 30 pounds to lose, so they're not trying to lose 30 pounds. But we
Yeah.
consistently see up to 30 pounds lost. That always above 10 for everybody. 93% success rate, 10 to 30 pounds lost in 8 weeks. And then that was the new marker. So 37 had never been done. And then in the class after that, the Corona Killers, those guys absolutely stepped it up. CJ LeBoy lost 40 pounds in 6 weeks, and now he's lost 42 pounds in 7 weeks. Would you say you consistently see these results in Gutless, or am I just sitting here getting these one-trick ponies who lose weight, and then I capture them on a Zoom testimonial and make it look like everybody's getting results? Are the guys you're seeing, the current class, and also were the guys in your class consistently getting the results that I promise and talk about all the time?
Yeah. So for me, I wasn't one of the people that needed to lose 30 pounds. I was probably like 20 pounds, 15 pounds kind of overweight. I lost 18.5 pounds, which is awesome. I'm back down pretty much like fighting weight. You know, when I was going into college, I was about like 158. I'm 5'9", and I'm usually typically, pretty low body fat percentage too. And I play soccer. I usually play soccer like two or three times a week. So I got myself back into like pretty much having a six pack, a lot more lean, and just feeling better. There's other guys in the group that they've kind of let themselves go. In fact, one of the reasons why I originally reached out to Bryce about this is because one of my brothers had been, and he was about 220 pounds, 5'7", hadn't been under 200 pounds since college, and he's 32 years old. And so for me, it was like, this was something that I wanted to give my brother for Christmas. And he was one of the guys that he's now down to 185, right? Which is huge. He still wants to lose more, but look, I mean, he lost over 30 pounds in the process. He's kept it off. He's somebody that I love and he's in my life. And then my other brother lost about 20 pounds. He didn't have as much to lose. It's not only is it, I think, a consistent across, everybody that I've seen. So it's just not like a special unicorn type of person that you're getting on a testimonial, but the people that are in my life all kept the weight off and they're feeling a lot healthier. And they've also, again, kind of retrain themselves or just put themselves into healthier habits. So now moving forward, it's not like they're going to balloon back up to the weight that they started at. Definitely seeing a trend where it's not just a one-off person. It's majority of the group. I would say, 100%, 95% of the group that I was in lost the weight that they were trying to lose or more. And then the people that are around me, most of them have all kept it off and are leading healthier lives.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And the last thing I'll have you say, a couple things. So would you recommend Gutless to others, and who would you recommend it to?
Yeah, definitely. I've already recommended Gutless to others. Actually, I just recommended it to one of my other colleagues right now who is trying to lose weight himself. And so I'm still recommending it to like people that are my friends. I think it's anybody that is like ready to commit and wants to make a change in their life. I think that, having a group that helps kind of hold yourself accountable and creates some sort of camaraderie really helps you drive that. I've always been a person that's been able to maintain a pretty good lifestyle and be in good shape, but it was taking me a little bit longer to kickstart myself back into gear this time. And so, I can imagine people that haven't always been in good shape their entire lives, they could probably use this approach like even more than myself. And so I think that no matter where you're at in your life, or like what weight you are, how far overweight you are, or if you're maybe you're 10 pounds overweight and you want to kick back and lose those 10 pounds, maybe you're 70 pounds, 100 pounds overweight. It's even more important to start getting yourself back into shape before you start having more implications on your health and your long-term health. So, there's really no time to waste. And this is a good way to kick back into shape.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So the last thing I'll have you say is, I am Ryan McDonald, and I lost 18.5 pounds with the Gutless Gang.
Yeah. So I am Ryan McDonald, and I lost 18.5 pounds with the Gutless Gang.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. It's good to see you. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll catch up a little bit more. Gutless Gang.